we are here with CyberSec Consulting Leaders founder and CEO, Mr. Charles Mooring. We're going to talk about his journey in the cybersecurity industry. We're going to start with how he got into this particular field.
I think to talk about the journey, I think we've got to go back to high school. Not too long after graduating high school, opened our first business, and even back then we were looking for technology to kind of set us apart from the rest. And we're talking about the late 90s, so the technology wasn't anywhere near as it is today, but we still tried to leverage technology to better position ourselves. From there, I took on a private contractor role, working as a game changer to see the amount of impact these power plants had and what it took to secure them. I think that is when I really started thinking to myself, that's got to be an important role. There's got to be a lot to that. A nuclear power site is very highly secured, and I think from there, that's when it really started hitting me. Also, I held a role as an operations manager in a logistics company. That again was eye-opening, trying to utilize technology to the utmost to ensure that inventory was where it needed to be, assets where they needed to be, human capital, so forth and so on. And so again, looking at my journey, after logistics, I think the most impactful role I had was as the Chief Information Security Officer at a very large healthcare organization in Florida. It kind of goes back to that conversation about that nuclear power plant and the impact that a nuclear power plant has to the masses, if you will. Healthcare is the same thing. When we looked at what we did and why we did it, right? We served others. We wanted to make sure that our patients had an opportunity to get the best care.
When we're talking about cybersecurity, is it just IT, or is there more to it than just IT? Is there some other kind of issue besides an IT issue when you're talking about cybersecurity?
Yeah, I think privacy is a big thing. Back to my role as the CISO at the healthcare organization, I worked very closely with the Chief Compliance Officer. Privacy and security go hand in hand. So it's not just technology. It's about what we're doing with the technology and how we use that technology to better.
So you talked for a second about logistics and the industry elements of logistics, shipping, cargo, digital tracking systems. Let's talk a little bit more about digital tracking systems.
Sure, yeah. So in the logistics role, again, we're talking about the early to mid 2000s. Technology isn't at that time anywhere near it is today. But we leveraged asset management programs. We leveraged software that help us track not just inventory but assets, right? Logistics, a lot of trucking, a lot of people, and we needed to know where they were, how they got there, when they got there, so forth and so on.
So where do you see cybersecurity going from this point forward? We talked about the 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about where cybersecurity is going to take us in the near future.
Yeah, and that's a great question. I'm sure everybody has heard about AI or artificial intelligence, and that's really where it's at. The problem is, though, a lot of people don't fully understand what AI is. They watch Terminator and they think AI is. Fact is, AI is there's different different levels or different iterations of artificial intelligence, if you will. There's machine learning, artificial intelligence, generative artificial intelligence. You choose to utilize AI for. It's a great tool. And then moving into the future, a lot of those mundane tasks, repetitive tasks, will be impacted by AI, because we can teach AI how to do those repetitive tasks, and that's called automation. And right now, in all industries really, automation is the key, right? We need to leverage technology.
Talk about some of the projects that you have completed, some of the projects that you have on the horizon, and all of your insights for your current project.
Yeah, I think, going back to the healthcare role, one of the larger projects we took on was rolling out two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication is really where you need to be if you want to secure your data. We're talking about 4,000 staff members across 4 different states, and the organization was better off for it. Now,